Yes, so welcome back. As I have said earlier, that we are going to be talking about how to validate a form with PHP. So in detail, there are two ways in which someone can validate a form. It's either by using the post method or by using the get method. So I'll explain them in details. The post method is used to send this form data with this name, but they won't show in the URL. They will be embedded in the HTML, and then they will send it to the location which you want to send it using the action. Then the get method will send the form data using the URL. I did it in this place. Let me click on register. So this is how it will be. The names with the value, everything. Let me click on this, register. So the full name, everything, the name will be in this place. So but for the post, it won't be in the URL, but you can still access it by using the post variable, the super global. Let me change the method to post, because you have to think of security when you are processing HTML forms, because this one has password in it. That's why I'm using the post method. So I can't use the get method, because anything the user types in this place, it will show in the URL, both the password, anything the user types in. So let's begin everything from scratch. I will delete all this. So we have just the password field. So the HTML form will consist of inputs, div class with the inputs order that I have created before, label, then this is the full name, then in this place we have the input type equals to text, name equals to full name, and then placeholder equals to click here. So we have it in this way: full name, click here with the name. So I'll copy them 2 more times for the username and the email address. So in this place we have the username, then in this place we have the email address, the email. I'll change their names, because this value, the value that will be put in this place, will be equals to this name. So I will access the value of this form, this input, through this name. So that's why it's very important. So here I'll say username, here I'll say email. In this place, the input name, I'll say is a password _1, then password _2, and we are using the post method to validate it, so that we won't see all these ones in the URL. Then let's go. And then I gave this one a name, so that this is the name that we use to access. So let's go into our PHP. We can validate it on the page, or we go to another page to validate it. So for my instance, I'll validate it on another page, so that it will be more, I will have a more cleaner code. Then I'll create a new file. I'll call it form_validate.php. So this is the key that we will use to access anything in this place. So I'll come here, I'll create a PHP tag, then I'll click on if. So I'm actually seeing that if this button is being clicked, that means if it is set, if the variable is being set, then I want to do something with it. Then I'll say echo yes, I was clicked. So in this case, in the action attributes, I'll put form underscore validate dot php. So let's try it. Clicking on this, register for free, then this variable has been set, this submit form, this button that we created here to submit the form. So this variable was clicked, then we want to start grabbing the variables that was passed. So in this case, I'll say the full name should be equals to a super global called the post. The post, then what did I name this one? I named this one full name. Then I'll copy it. I have 5 of them. So the second one is username. So if I just do something like echo full name, the password I was given to us, and then the second password, then close it up. Let me go and fill the form. 1, 2, and just put an email. So this is the data that was given to us. So I want to validate it. I want to check for empty inputs before actually doing anything. So I'll come down here and I'll input error checks, then empty inputs. So then I'll pass all the datas one, because I'll create a function for this. Created everything here, then I'll say I'll call this because a function. Then I'll check for empty inputs in this place. There's a keyword called empty in PHP that can search for empty inputs. So, or another empty. If any of them is empty, it will search for this one. If this one is empty, or so any one of them, if they are empty, even though the user provide the full name, username, email, password one, and the user did not fill this one, it will still send the user back to the front page with an error message saying you forgot to fill one input field. Do you understand? So yeah, I want to send the user back. Okay, let me do something like this, then echo one or more input field are left empty. Refresh the page and click on this in line 18, line 18. Okay, this. So one or more input field are left empty. No, let me leave this one empty. It will still say one of them are empty because I did not fill everything. So I want to send the user back to the front page with an error message in the URL that will be as a get. Then I want to send the user to this location in PHP. Then the name of the file is form validation.php with an error message saying that empty. Let me just leave it like this. Then I want to exit the script so that it won't do anything more. It said you have an empty value, please fill it. So we'll be using this one to output an error message in this place. So what do we want to check again? We want to check if the full name given to us is a proper full name, the username is a proper username. So I want to check for invalid inputs. Invalid inputs from here to here. So I want to check for these 3 if they are a valid, invalid inputs. Or I can check for password also. Invalid inputs. Then I'll come here again. I'll create a function for this function with this. So invalid inputs, I want to check for the first one if there's a function in PHP called preg. underscore match. So we'll draw a pattern that, okay, I want this kind of pattern. I want comma, full stop, I want space, I want letters. So that's what the pattern is. And then the subject is, in which variable are we searching this pattern. So this is full name. Then in this place, I'll do this, then I'll put this sign, open these brackets. Then what I want in the full name, I want A to Z. I want capital letter A to Z. Then I want 0 to 9. 0 to 9. Then I want space in it, because when the user is providing the full name, the name may have space. Then I'll do this to close it up. So this is how it will look like. So if preg match exists, then tell the user that yes, you gave us a good input. Echo, you gave us a valid full name. Let me comment this one down so that this function will run. I'll see. So you gave us a valid full name. So let me go inside here and let me put some sign register. You see, it did not give us an error message. So let me do in this else statement, then echo not valid. So it will echo not valid because of these signs that are in the input. So not valid, that's the error that will be thrown. You give us a valid full name. Then let me do this. Just put some not valid. So it's checking if this pattern. So I want to do if this pattern return as false. That means when it check in this place and this place, the pattern that is trying to check does not exist in this place. So if there is A to Z, it will return as true. If there is A to Z, it return as true. If there is 0 to 9, it will return as true. If there is space in there, it will return as true. But anything aside from what is inside this square bracket, it will return as false. So I'm telling that if it return as false with this exclamation mark, then send the user back and tell them that, oh, you gave us the wrong inputs. Full name. So let's go back here and then so this full name. That means the name that was given to us is a wrong name. It has some pattern that does not exist in this place. So let's go further. If in the username is still the same thing, I'm checking for almost the same thing. So but here I won't check for space in the username. Then just send me back to this front page and tell me username. And then I want to check for email address. So there's a function in PHP that searches for, that is used to validate email address. So I'll use filter underscore var. Then which email am I trying to check if it is a proper email? Then this is it. Then I'll use filter underscore validate underscore email. if it returns false, that's what I'm trying to check. If this email does not has @.com, or it has more character that does not belong to email characters, so it will throw an error and tell me that, oh, get out, your email is bad. And then I want to check for another thing first. So if filter underscore sanitize email, so I want to sanitize, I want to see if it is a proper email. Sanitize email. So if it is not a proper email, to send me back. So let's go and test, so we'll know. Admin, and let me say this. So you send me back that, oh, this email that you provided is not a proper email because it does not has .com or any extension. Register. So that's it for this. Then let's check for the password. If we want to check if the password does not match, if this one and this one does not match, then it will still send me back. If they don't match, it will send me back to this page and tell me that, oh, so if the password is 123 and this one is 345, so they do not match, it will return as false, and it will send me back to this place with password. So you can do more check-ins for the password and search for string length. If for the length of the password, maybe you want the password to be lesser than 8 or bigger than 8, or any amount, any length. So you use the string strlen, then the password _1. If this password is lesser than, for instance, let me say 8, then I'll echo another message, password lesser than 8. So this for the email, for this, for everything. Let me uncomment this, and then let's test run our code. Let's test run our code. So I have here invalid inputs. It will check if this pattern exists in this place. If it returns as false, then it will throw me back to this place. For this one also, it will check for this pattern in this username. If it returns as false in this place, then it will send me back to this location with an error message username. If the address I provided is not a proper email address, then it will send me back to this front page with an error email. If the password that I provided, the first one is not equal to the second one, then they send me back saying, oh, the password you provided does not match. Then the string length also will check for the length of the password. If it is lesser than 8, then to send me back to this form validation with this error message. So let's test everything, because everything is fine. Click on this, you say empty inputs, then click here, admin, then I'll use this username. Click on this place. I gave a wrong username. Click on this place, click here, click here. So say, oh, the username that you provided is not a proper username, please do something about it. Click here, admin, then say admin at localhost.cc, then the password is admin, then let me provide the second password to be, so they won't be equal. Click on this place. Oh, the password that you gave us is not a proper password, please do something about it. So if you want to save the data to the database, so you have something like a login system with the dashboard and everything, users info. So the information that was collected will be in the database. So it will be in an upcoming video. So kindly subscribe to this channel. I think that's all for this video. So this one is a login and logout system. If I log out, say login again. If I log in my account, it will log me into the dashboard, telling me that okay, your name is this, your name is that, your name is your referral link. So everything, that was it for this video. So please turn on the post notification so that you'll be notified when I post a video on how to save the actual data that was collected from the user. So one more thing, let me do an error message under this form PHP. So PHP if so I'll check if it sets this error. This error is a variable, also is a get variable. So if it is set in the URL, let's go get, then yes, the URL is set. So yes, the URL is set. Let me remove it, or let me change the name so you don't see anything. So the URL is a variable in the, so it is set if the value is equals to empty, then I will display an error message telling them that oh, you have a field to fill. Since you forget to fill this field, the fill all fields. Then I'll copy it again and I'll paste it. Then password lesser than 8. So in this place I'll just put a customize error filling of field, provide a proper full name. In my next video that I'll be doing, I'll be showing how to store the data into the database with prepared statements. So provide a proper email and define array empty that was an error, sorry. I was supposed to let me copy this to check if is actually equals to empty. So filling all fields, let me put some names here. Admin, email, that email is not a proper email, so it will just tell them. And one more thing, if you want this URL, if you want the form data as in the input that was filled in to be remembered, you just have to do small thing in this place. So we set, let me just do one so you know how to do it. Then empty and fn equals dot full name. So to remember the full name, and then if you want to add another one, you add dot, then and then the name that you want to set equals, then you, and so on. So let me put this. So and fn equals this. So if I wanted to remember what is in the URL, I'll just go to this then value equals to then a PHP. If is set, this full name is another variable. If is set, get fn then echo this variable, the value, then so I think that's that for that. So it will just remember it. If it's set, then let me unset the variable. So thank you for this video, and I really appreciate for your time for watching it up to this extent. So to remember, then you do it for the rest of the input fields. So thank you. I love you all. So don't forget to turn on the post notification so that you're notified when I publish a video concerning how to put the data into a database. I have many of them with the images, how to save image into a database. There are a lot of things that will go on this channel, so please subscribe, like this video if you got values, and then turn on the post notification at you. Thank you. Sign out.